Welcome, dear Yu-Gi-Oh enjoyers, to this post-ban list Yubel deck list and guide, which I decided to make to show off some combos and replacements to existing cards and to teach you these combos. I would like to go through every change, I guess, basically in the standard change in the deck that the ban list has basically impacted on, and just show you how you can still get insane endboards, even though we lost important things like Fiendsmith Lacrima and the Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically, the first thing that you might have noticed that I actually opted not to play the Silhouette Rabbit, which is basically a pretty good alternative that you will be seeing other people use, and I opted to actually go for the Nightmare Griffin line in this deck, because I believe that it serves a much better purpose, or I guess it in a way doesn't miss as much timing as setting up all of the negates from the, or well, destroys and the negates from the rabbit, which can be basically, I guess, so to say, outplayed. And yeah, my one other reasoning also for this playstyle, I guess, is also that the Azurune statue that I would have otherwise had to include in my list would basically be a dead draw, while I believe that Yubel Terra Incarnate, as much as you don't like to see them in the opening hand, it still can be used as a material for fusion, and in many of these combos that I will show you off, it actually helps you generate more bodies on the board to be able to finalize these combos. And another thing that you might have noticed is that I opted to play for 2 tracks. Basically, this will eliminate any kind of stupid draws when it happens that you draw both the engraver and the track. You will still be able to utilize your engraver in the correct way in order to search for another track. Yeah, I bet that it happens. It happened to me a lot before, and I bet that this also sometimes happened to you. So yeah, this is better in a way. I'm not sure about playing the Sanct. I haven't really tested that card. This might also be useful in one way or another, but for now, I mean, it wasn't needed for any of my combos to actually include the Sanct. Also, I opted to play with only 2 Phantom of Yubels. You are probably very well aware that the extra deck cards are just getting out of hand. There is just so much less space than we used to have, right? I mean, every single card can actually be utilized in one way or another, and yeah, cutting the Phantom to 2 kind of hurts. But I have a very sneaking suspicion that this card will eventually, in 3 to 4 months time, get hit in one way or another. I'm not sure if it's gonna be semi-limited or limited, or maybe even errated, because I mean, let's be honest, the card is just broken as hell right now. So yeah, in a way I will at least get used to playing like this, but the option does still exist that to cut something else out of the extra deck to get a 3rd copy of the Phantom inside, and only target that I currently see is the DDD Wave Hiking, considering I will be only showing you single combo that actually utilizes this card, but the end board, I must say, is like insane in that position. So there is probably some more plays that you can actually, where you can actually utilize this card to its full potential, right? But still, I am considering potentially cutting it depending on the consistency and how these duels in the future will go. Please note that I haven't really tested this deck yet properly. I will be testing it in the future, and I guess I'll be posting some updates if I notice any differentiations or any upgrades to the already existing combos. And yeah, basically one other thing is that we also have this card in the deck instead of the Appaloosa. And in a way, I believe that this card can provide even stronger boards than with Appaloosa. But I guess we will see with time. Anyways, let's get into the combos. So the first combo that I wanted to show off to you is what you can achieve with just one Samsara D Lotus normal summon and 2 random cards in your hand. And this is how the play goes. So we basically summon our Samsara, we tribute it to get the Spirit of Yubel from the deck, we then activate its effect to grab the Nightmare of Pain and set it to the field. Once we have that, we activate it and we destroy our Spirit of Yubel, grab our Gruesome Grave Squirmer. After that, we activate the Spirit of Yubel's effect in the graveyard in order to get our Yubel from the deck to the field. Next, what we want to do is we want to get our Phantom, because this is our 4th summon, so we will be bringing our Spirit of Yubel and Samsara D Lotus back into the deck in order to summon our Phantom of Yubel. This will protect us from further on from Nibiru. Next, we activate the Grave Squirmer effect, special summon it to the field, and also activate its effect on the field to destroy. This is necessary because we are playing Terror Incarnate. This is the 1 extra body, also the 1 extra body in the graveyard, because this combo will require you to use one of your Phantom of Yubels for a Link summon later on to get the end board that we desire. And this is the way that we get into this play. So we tribute the Yubel, activate its effect in the graveyard to get the Terror Incarnate onto the field. And then we link these off too into the Moon of the Close Heaven. Why? Because we need to get into our Fiendsmith engine right now. We use this one to link it up into the Requiem. The Requiem effect tribute itself to get the Engraver from the deck onto the field. We next equip the Requiem to the Engraver in order to get into the Necroquip. This is the extra body, very useful. So now we activate the Engraver's effect to get it back onto the field by returning the Moon of the Close Heaven to the extra deck. And now we link these two off into the Yama. And now we activate Yama's effect to grab the Savara. And now we activate the Gruesome Grave Squirmer's effect to get our Yubel back onto the field and use it as a body to link these two off into the Blue Dog Soul of Rage, right? After that, we use the Sharvara's effect to special summon and to pop the Soul of Rage. That way, we can get back the Engraver into the hand and to go into the track, and this will enable us to have a Light Fiend in order to get into our Requiem eventually, right? We also chain 1 Soul of Rage and chain 2 Yama to bring back our Soul of Rage, which will help us get into the Link monster or Link rating that we desire. Okay, we grab our Engraver, right? As I said, now we make another Phantom of Yubel, which is why the Terror Incarnate is necessary. We bring it out, we use the Engraver effect to get the Tract into our hand, and we use the Tract to get our Flurry from the deck. We discard the Flurry, and we special summon the Lurry from the graveyard once it's discarded. Then we use the Lurry and the Sharvara to bring out the Requiem. We use the Shavara's effect to set our Abominable Chamber from the deck. Next we use the Sequences effect and bring all of our Light Fiends from the graveyard, which is exactly 3, in order to summon our Desiree. Now once we have our Desiree, we can use up our extra body of Phantom of Yubel with the sequence in order to get into the Muckraker. We use the Muckraker effect to get the sequence back, and this is also important not to use the sequence effect just yet and to equip it to Desiree, because we still need it as a body to get into our Link 4. And we discard the random card we drew at the start of the game to get the sequence back up, and we use both the sequence and the Soul of Rage to get into the Nightmare Griffin. Now please note, it is important that you establish your board this way, because what Nightmare Griffin says is that any monster that is not linked and that is special summoned is unable to use their effects on the field. And we have set up our board so that every single monster that we have here is linked. And not only that, by summoning the Muckraker right here, we are also able to make our opponent not have any monsters that are linked, and so he will be have to establish his board without the help of our link monsters, right? Which will be pretty hard for them. Once we have this set up, and well, once the Nightmare Griffin is summoned, we activate its effect to discard the other random card we have, and to get the tract back. Well, not into our hands. This is a misplay that I've done. It should actually have been set, because his effect is actually that it sets one card from the graveyard into the spell and trap zone. But not only that, since it was co-linked, and it was due to Muckraker, we also get to draw one card, so that is a +1, which is not bad. And now, not to forget, since we haven't done it earlier, because we still needed the body, we go sequence effect and equip it to Desiree, and that way we have the negate ready for the next turn. Okay, so we produced quite a hefty board, I would say, with considering we only used one normal starter, right? Normal summon. This board is, I believe, a lot more resilient to 10-pie board breakers, such as Raigeki and Darkhold, because we have the Muckraker, which can basically help us protect our monsters, and this effect is actually not once per turn. So what we can do is, anytime they use multiple targets to destroy, we can just decide to tribute one of our Fiend monsters. We have 4, or well 5, considering we can bring back the Blue Dog, right? And this will protect our board multiple times, and in case he has something like Forbidden Droplet, that's why we have our Abominable Chamber set, which we can chain to the Forbidden Droplet, or well, Dark Ruler no more, which will make us be able to chain the Desiree onto the Abominable Chamber and just negate whatever the opponent activates that we are unable to respond with monster effects. Also, one more thing that I forgot to mention is basically the Nightmare Throne combo will use the same end board, but what it will do, since we're playing the Terror Incarnate, it will provide us with an extra body, which means that we will actually not have any need to go into the second Phantom of Yubel in order to produce such a board. What will happen is that we will have this extra Nightmare Throne here, which provides us with extra utility for also follow-up plays on the opponent's turn, and basically that's it. I would like to now show you the next combo. So the next combo that I would like to show you is the Dark Beckoning Beast one-card combo, which will get us to a pretty strong end board, not as good as the Samsara D Lotus one, but a pretty close one. The only difference being that we are unable to go into the Desiree play this time, but instead we will at least have a Varudras for an Omni Negate, so not as strong in regards to board breakers such as Forbidden Droplet and Dark Ruler no more, but nonetheless strong. So what we do here is, oh yeah, and we also have 2 random cards, and it's mostly always necessary for the 2 random cards if you want to utilize the combo to the fullest, right, with the Nightmare Griffin. So what we do is we summon the Dark Beckoning Beast. We use this effect to get our single copy of the Opening of the Spirit Gates. We play it immediately. We search for the second copy of a Dark Beckoning Beast, and we use the Dark Beckoning Beast effect, basically, that provides us with an extra normal summon where it's face up on the field. We use this so that we can normal summon it again, and then we can link it off into the moon. This is necessary because we need to get into our Yubel engine, right? And this is the way that we do this. We link this off into the Requiem. We use the Requiem effect, tribute itself to get Engraver from the deck. We use the Requiem effect to attach itself to the Engraver, and then we contact fuse this into the Necroquip Princess. After this, we activate the Engraver's effect by returning the Moon of the Closed Heaven, special summon the Engraver from the deck. From the graveyard, and we link these 2 off into the sequence. Now we use the sequences effect to return back the Requiem and the copy of the Engraver in order to special summon the Aerial Eater. We use the Aerial Eater's effect to basically get our Samsara D Lotus from the deck to the grave. And now we use the effect of the Opening and discard the random card that we started with to get the Samsara Lotus back. Now we go into the Yubel combo, right? We tribute this one to get the Spirit. The Spirit will get us the Nightmare Pain. The Nightmare Pain will destroy the Spirit, and it will give us the Gruesome Grave Squirmer and another Yubel body on the field. Now we actually use the Grave Skirmer's effect to summon it, special summon it, and to destroy the Yubel. We get the bigger Yubel, the Terror Incarnate on the field. This will help us get more bodies, right, as I previously said, but not really necessary in this combo line, but yeah, still necessary for the others. Now we go bring the Samsara and the Yubel back into the deck to summon the Phantom of Yubel. Then we link the Yubel and the Gruesome Grave Squirmer into the Yama. The Yama will search us the Sharvara. We then link the Aerial Eater and the sequence into the Muckraker already. Now we activate the Aerial Eater's effect by banishing the Necroquip Princess and the Terror Incarnate. So, okay, I was lying, right? The Terror Incarnate is actually needed for this to work, and we bring out the Aerial Eater back. Now we link the Aerial Eater and the Yama into the Soul of Rage. Then we activate the Gruesome Grave Squirmer's effect in order to bring back the Spirit of Yubel. We activate the Sharvara effect, pop the Spirit, summon Sharvara. Now we chain both Spirit and the Yama. Chainlink to Yama, banishes to bring back the Spirit of Yubel and to bring the Yubel back, and as well part of the Yama effect, we will be destroying our Sharvara so that we're not locked into Fiends just yet. By proccing our Sharvara, new chain starts, right? We get the chamber, we set it on the field, and then we go into the Varudras. Next, we use the Muckraker's effect, because we now have the Varudras. This is our non-fiend monster, so we can now get locked into Fiends. We discard the extra card we had, and we bring out the Fiendsmith sequence, and now we can actually go into the Nightmare Griffin. So basically, as I said, similar end board. We also might want to activate the sequences effect just so that we make something untargetable. I guess either the Varudras or the Griffin, depending on what you're playing against. And yeah, basically you needed the 2 cards not for the Griffin, because this time we actually do not have any spells, so we cannot really activate that part of the effect of the Nightmare Griffin, but still a pretty hefty end board, right? We still have an Omni Negate, and the user is locked out of effects of the monster that are special summon on the field. We can still negate something with the Yubel, we can tribute stuff for the Muckraker in order to protect themselves against Tempai or other board breakers, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so this next combo is just a 1-card combo with the Fiendsmith Engraver, and also credit where credit is due. I actually saw this combo, or well, a similar iteration of this combo by a fellow YouTuber named Trinity YGO, so props to him. Yeah, I want to show you this version where I do utilize the Terror Incarnate, not to some big huge extent, but nonetheless at least it provides us a more early protection from Nibiru, although they would probably Nibiru us much earlier, right? But anyways, at least we have this going for us, right? So yeah, we also need this 1 extra card only for this combo, but it's just a random card. We always start with 5 cards, right? So it shouldn't really present a problem. So we activate the Engraver's effect to discard it and to get back the track into our hand. Next we activate the track to get the Lorry. We discard the Lorry to special summon it back from the graveyard once it has been discarded. We next link this off into the Requiem effect, tribute itself to get the Engraver. Once we have the Engraver, we do as usual, we get back the Requiem, equip it to it in order to fusion, or well, contact fusion into the Necroquip. Once we have this, we go Engraver effect, we return the Requiem, and we get the Engraver back. We link these 2 off into the sequence, we activate the sequence effect, and we use the Engraver and the Lorry to special summon our Aerial Eater. Once we do so, we use its effect to get the Samsara D Lotus from the deck to the graveyard, and then we link these 2 off into the Muckraker so that we can get back our Samsara. Then we use the extra card that we had in our hands to get the Samsara and go into the Yubel combo. We tribute Samsara to get the Spirit. Spirit gets us Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain kills the Spirit of Yubel. Gets us the Gruesome Grave Squirmer and activated effects to get us the normal copy of Yubel from the deck. Now we activate the Gruesome Grave Squirmer to destroy the Yubel and get the Terror Incarnate from the deck, and then we link these 2 off into the Yama. Yama activates this effect for the Sharvara. Then we return the Lotus and the Terror Incarnate for our copy of Phantom of Yubel. So now that we are kind of protected, right, from the Nibiru, as I said earlier. Then we activate the Aerial Eater effect to summon itself by banishing the Necroquip and the copy of Yubel. We link these 2 off into the Rage. Then we activate the Sharvara's effect to proc the Rage and to get activate the Rage's effect in the graveyard, as well as Yama's effect. Yama will banish itself to get us the sequence back, which isn't this time needed, so that we can get our Desiree, because we will need the 2 Light Fiends on the field at least, and an Engraver, and we get the access to the Engraver by the Soul of Rage effect, which returns it to our hand. That's how Tractus works, by also discarding cards from the hand. They don't necessarily have to be on the field. Then we activate the effect of the Gruesome Grave Skirmer. My bad, I summoned Nibiru. I actually wanted to summon Spirit of Yubel. Then we link these 2 off into the Moon of the Close Heaven. So now we have exactly three Light Fiends to go into the Desiree, but not to forget, since we sent the Sharvara to the graveyard, we can activate this effect to get the Abominable Chamber set on the field, which will provide us with extra interruption because we have the Blue Doggy already in the graveyard. Next, we use the Tract's effect in the graveyard to banish itself, to send all of these Light Fiends back to the graveyard and to get our Lacrima out. And then we equip the sequence onto the Lacrima, and basically this is our end board. Not as good as it used to be, right? We could have extended a lot more once, well, before when we had the Lacrimosa, but unfortunately it did get hit, which was quite surprising, right? And now this is basically what we're dealing with. Obviously, there is a much safer place with the slightly, well, I would say, yeah, slightly weaker end board, and I guess you can see this combo on Trinity YGO's channel. And now that we have done all the 3 1-card combos, or well, 4 consider if we count the Nightmare Throne as a 1-card combo, I would like to show you the 2-card combos that I prepared for you, which are quite insane, to say the least. Alright, and now to show off our first 2-card combo, which includes the Dark Beckoning Beast and the Nightmare Throne. Also, as usual, we need random cards just to utilize the combo to its fullest potential, and yeah, this is how we play this. We activate the Nightmare Throne to grab a Samsara D Lotus copy from our deck to our hand. Next we normal summon the Dark Beckoning Beast, use its effect to get the opening of the Spirit Gates into our hand. We use the opening of the Spirit Gates and use its effect to get another copy of the Dark Beckoning Beast, which will also provide us with an extra discard. Now we use the Dark Beckoning Beast effect. When it's face up on the field, we can normal summon another Fiend monster. And we normal summon Samsara, we activate Samsara effect, and to bring out the Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel sets Nightmare Pain from the deck on the field. We activate the Nightmare Pain, we proc the Spirit of Yubel to get the Gruesome Grave Squirmer into our hand. Now we chainlink 1 Yubel, Spirit of Yubel, and chainlink 2 Nightmare Throne. With the Nightmare Throne, which provides us with an extra body, we get the Terror Incarnate, which we special summon it from the hand, and we get our copy of the Yubel from the deck. Next we link off the 2 Yubels into the Closed Heaven. We return the 2 Yubels back into the deck to summon a Phantom. And next we go Closed Heaven into Requiem. Requiem tributes itself to get the Engraver from the deck. Next we activate the Requiem's effect to yeah, what's it called, fusion contact fuse into Necroquip Princess. We use the Necroquip and the Dark Beckoning Beast to summon the Yama. Yama activates its effect to get the Shervara into the hand. Then we use the Fiendsmith Engraver's effect to bring itself back by bringing the Moon of the Closed Heaven into the extra deck. We use the Engraver and the Yama to go into the Rage. We use the Shervara to proc the Rage and to basically chain 1 Rage, chain 2 Yama. We banish the Yama, get back the Rage, and get the copy of the Engraver into our hands. Now we can use the Engraver to get our Tract from the deck. Then we use the Tract to get the Lurry. We discard the Lurry, special summon it to the field. Then, in order not to be Fiend locked, we want to get rid of the Shervara, so we link it off with the Lurry into the sequence. We not forget, we need to use the Shervara effect to set the trap onto the field. Then we use the opening of the Spirit Gates effect to discard a card and to bring out the Spirit of Yubel. Next we use the Gruesome Grave Squirmer to special summon it and to destroy the Spirit of Yubel, which will bring us back the Yubel copy. Now what we do is we use the sequence effect to bring all of our Light Fiends back into the deck in order to summon the Desiree. we use the sequence and the squirmer to go into the muckraker. We don't use its effect just yet. We don't want to be fiend locked. So what we want to do is use the gruesome grey squirmer effect to bring back the spirit of Yubel so that we can go into our Varudras. Once we summon the Varudras, we are no longer afraid of being fiend locked. We use the muckraker effect to discard a card and to bring our link 2 back into the play so that we can once again link off into the Nightmare Griffin. Once we have done so, we use the Nightmare Griffin effect to discard the last card from our hands to bring out the Fiendsmith track, which should have been set, as I said before. Kind of put it here. We draw one card since it was calling, and not to forget, we activated the sequence effect, equip it onto the Desiree, and this is pretty much our end board. And I believe this is quite the insane end board, I might say so. So, I know that we cannot really use the Phantom of Yubel's effect to its full potential, right? But this only negates the activation of effect. So if Phantom of Yubel has the passive effect, so that it cannot be destroyed by battle, and since we have Nightmare Pain, here, what we can do is the opponent will have to still target this as an attack target, so that all of the rest of the cards are protected. But still, I mean, we have like Muckraker protection from the, as previously mentioned, Reigek's Darkholds. We have basically 2 Omni Negates, one which can be activated in response to Droplets and Dark Ruler No Mores. We have an additional body and interruption with the Soul of Rage, which can remove 1 card, and then we go into SP Little Knight, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So basically, let's go into our next 2-card combo. So our next 2-card combo will involve both the Engraver and the Nightmare Throne, and 2 random cards. So we start off our combo by activating the Nightmare Throne, grabbing the Samsara D Lotus from our deck. We normal summon the Samsara D Lotus, tribute itself to get a spirit. Spirit gets the Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Pain kills the spirit. We get the Gruesome Grey Squirmer, and we get the copy of the Yubel, as well as the Terror Incarnate onto the field. Now, we link these 2 off into the Yama. We search for the Sharvara. Next, we return the Terror Incarnate and the Yubel to get the Phantom of Yubel. So we have protection from Nibiru. This was kind of the 5th summon, but sure, I mean, if they didn't Nibiru, great for us, right? But yeah, I mean, in real matches, obviously we will have more issues with hand traps. But this is just to show off what these combos can do. We special summon the Gruesome, and this time we don't use its effect. We just immediately link it off with Yama into the Rage. Once we have done so, we use the Engraver to get the copy of Track. We use the Track to get the Lurry. We discard the Lurry and to special summon it from the graveyard. So once we have done so, we go into Requiem. Requiem tributes itself. We grab the Engraver. We use the Engraver effect to get back the other copy of the Engraver, and then we link these 2 off into a sequence. Once you have done so, we use the Grey Squirmer effect to bring back the Spirit of Yubel, and then we use the Sharvara effect to destroy the Spirit of Yubel, and activating Chain 1 Spirit of Yubel, Chain 2 Soul Lord of Yama. This way we get both of our copies of Yubel onto the field so that we can create Varudras. But first, since the Varudras was cannot be summoned, we need to get rid of the Sharvara. That's why we link it off with the Rage into the Muckraker. Now that we're no longer Fiend locked, we can't forget to grab the Abominable Chamber, right? We set it to our field. Then we finally create the Varudras. After this, we use the sequence effect finally to get the Desiree on the board. And we use the Muckraker effect to discard the card, to get the Rage, which will provide us with a Link 2 body, right? And 2 and 2 equals 4. We get the Nightmare Griffin. Fun, fun, fun. After that, we discard the card for the Nightmare Griffin. We save the track. Finally, I've done it properly, right? And we also draw a card. That's +1. Not to forget, sequence onto the Desiree, and pretty much this is our end board. Very similar end board as the last one, practically identical with this 2-card combination, and yeah. The next combo will at least have a different end board, and for the first time it will not actually utilize Nightmare Griffin, same as when the Nightmare Griffin isn't utilized when we only draw the 1 copy of the Engraver. And finally, getting into our last 2-card combo is our Dark Beckoning Beast and Fiendsmith Engraver with 2 cards in our hand, random. Basically, this combo took me a while to figure out. Hopefully it didn't screw or mess anything up in the process, but hopefully everything is fine. And yeah, let's begin with the combo. We start off by summoning the Dark Beckoning Beast to grab our opening of the Spirit Gates. Once we've done so, we activate it, get the second copy of Dark Beckoning Beast, and we then normally summon it. We then link these 2 off into the Yama. The Yama grabs our Sharvara. Then we activate the Engraver's effect to grab the Tract. We activate the Tract to get the Lurry. We discard the Lurry and special summon the Lurry back onto the field. We then link off the Lurry into the Requiem. We activate Requiem's effect, tributing itself to get the Engraver from the deck. Once we have done so, we put the Requiem onto the Engraver to contact fuse into the Necroquip Princess. Then we use the Engraver's effect, bring back the Requiem, and we'll special summon it from the Graver. Now we have 2 bodies, we can use the 2 bodies to get into the sequence. And then we use the sequence effect to go back with the Necroquip and the Dark Beckoning Beast. This is important, this is quite important, because otherwise we will not be able to fully do this combo. And summoning the Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater effect to grab the Samsara, the Lotus, and put it into the grave. Then we link off these 2 into the Rage. Once we have done so, we need to get our Samsara back into the hand. We discard the random card we drew and get our Samsara D Lotus. Now, for the 1 millionth time, we tribute the Samsara to get the Spirit. We get the Nightmare Pain, we use the Nightmare Pain to kill the Spirit, grab the Gruesome Grave Squirmer, and we also chain both the Spirit and the Yama. We banish the Yama to get the Spirit back, and we get the, Yubel from the deck. We also use the Yama's effect in this instance. When we banish it, we also destroy 1 card. And we destroy the Rage, and the purpose of this is so that we can bring back the Engraver to the hand, so that we can fuse later on into the Desiree. So, Rage effect, we bring back the Fiendsmith Engraver, and once we have done so, we activate the Gruesome Grave Squirmer effect to proc the copy of Yubel and to get the Terror Incarnate. Once we have done this, we return the Yubel and the Samsara back to the deck to get our Phantom of Yubel finally on the field. This will, however, be... yeah, it is quite late for the protection, but what can you do? I'm just showing off this line of play. Then we link off the Gruesome Grave Squirmer and Yubel for the Moon. This will provide us with the 3rd Light Fiend for the Desiree summon. We use Tract now, banish it, and we get the Desiree finally on the field. Once we have done this, we use the Sharvara effect to proc the Spirit, Spirit effect to get back the Yubel, and now that also our Spirit of Yubel is in the graveyard, first off we go into the 2nd Phantom of Yubel, because we are kind of fiend locked right now and we need to get rid of this, so we get rid of the Phantom and the Sharvara. to grab our Muckraker. We use the Sharvara effect to get the Abominable Chamber set on the field. Next, we use the Gruesome Gravescurmer effect. Now that we're no longer being blocked, get the Spirit of Yubel. Now we can XYZ into the Varudras. And we activate the Muckraker effect, discard the card to get the Sharvara. Next, we activate the Aerial Ether effect by banishing 2 Fiendsmith Engravers to get the Aerial Ether back. And we seize this time into the DDD Wave Hiking. Now, we also, not forget, equip the sequence onto the Desiree, and this is pretty much our end board. That's like 8 interruptions slash negates. Quite the insane end board. To be honest, the only drawback from this being that we kind of overextend. We banish both our engravers, and not only that, I mean, we kind of used our second copy of Phantom of Yubel, so we no longer can summon. If someone in a miraculous way gets actually rid of this whole board, they can actually yeah, we kind of are screwed on the follow-up play. But that is a big if, right? I mean, we have like 2 special summon negates, we have protection, we have monster negate, omni negates, interruption, either special summon monster, then banish something. It's just quite insane. But yeah, this is basically it, what I've been able to come up with. If you notice that I've made any mistakes, please do let me know and leave this in the comments, right? And yeah, hopefully this guide will be able to help you decide if you want to play such an iteration of Yubel. And yeah, I might be back in a few weeks after I've tested this on my locals and maybe also in DB's online matches to see if I've maybe changed something, as I mentioned at the start of the video, regarding if I should play another copy of Yubel or what kind of endboard we can produce, not including this DDD Wave Hiking. But for now, I hope this video helped you, and yeah, see you another time.